It's happening. Plan was to go for like an easy 10k today off the back of yesterday. Wasn't sure how that was going to feel because of the ride and the brick. Kind of finished it quite late yesterday. Didn't sleep particularly well, and then I have to get this done like fairly early doors, so not ideal, but it's actually feeling pretty good. Only thing is I realise I don't have enough time to get the 10k in, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to do split day, so I'm going to run again later, maybe do between 5 and 8k now, or do some erg work later instead. Although it's quite warm, it's like a bit drizzly this morning. It's kind of keeping my temperature down a bit, which is really nice. Probably has something to do with why the heart rate's looking pretty decent. Alright, we hit just over 7k, I think it was like 7.2k, 7.3k, 39 minutes, and now I've got to get to work. Bit of a rush, but it felt really good, which is promising. I've period of time in the gym where I can actually hit some upper body pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just capitalize on that, hit the upper body now. I've got bench press, pull-ups, dips, penne rows. It's so hot in here, but I've just got the penne rows left. I've been doing the pull-ups and the dips as like a soft superset, so do a set of 10 pull-ups, rest a minute and a half, set of 10 dips, rest a minute and a half, and do that for 3 rounds until I've got through them all. I really like that. It kind of gives you a bit of a bigger gap in between the movements themselves, but you're not taking loads of time, you get through it quite quickly. The plan is over the next few weeks to slowly build up the bench press a little bit. Not really build up the pull-ups and the dips, but refine the form a little bit. Probably not going to add any weight to them, but definitely refine the pull-ups. I can definitely make them better, get closer to like chest bar ones. Dips are kind of fine, but I know if I push the weight on the dips, it's going to have a little bit of a knock-on effect on the pull-up form as well. So that's going to be fairly steady. The way it's worked out today, we don't have any tri-club swimming tonight, which kind of sucks. In a weird way, I look forward to it because I know that I feel uncomfortable doing it, and so I know that that's valuable. But it can't be done today, so I can though, however, get out for another jog, a bit of a run. I was a little bit short this morning, did like 7.3k, so I wanted to do 10k, so I can round that up. Probably going to try and do 5k now. A little bit weird sort of day where I've done a run in the morning, upper body session like around lunchtime, midday, and then hit hopefully another run now. Hopefully I'm going to do an open water swim tomorrow. Let's go, the shades are on, the sun is out. I feel actually not too bad. The legs don't feel as strong as they did this morning. And I got the Horrocks vest on, which makes me feel badass anyway, so. Believe it or not, it kind of seems like I don't have a plan at the minute, but I do. It's pretty structured as well, but it has to be like fairly flexible around the kids and work and all of that good stuff. There is method to the madness. I use Training Peaks, I use Strava, and I use Train Heroic for strength-based stuff. Putting this off so much this morning, I'm procrastinating. I'm meant to go out now for the hard run, the interval run. I am wearing the same vest as I had on yesterday. I do have multiple ones of these, so I could lie to you and say it's a different one, but it's actually the same one I wore yesterday. I only wore it for like 25 minutes. I don't know if that's acceptable or not, because I wore it running yesterday, whether I should have just chucked it straight in the wash straight after, or if it's acceptable for me to wear it today. I'm not sure. Later on, I'm going to try and get a big swim in. It could be the biggest swim that I've done to date, or it could just be this biggest swim that I've done in a little while. Last week I just went out and back on like a 1 kilometer stretch for all of the intervals. That keeps it nice and flat and predictable. This time around though, I can do a bit more of a loop. So it's going to be a bit more rolling, a bit more undulating, which might make it a bit harder
to keep with the paces, but it's a bit more interesting. And it also gives me a chance to run down by the beach and see what the sea's looking like. It's 2 intervals done. I'm doing a 1 minute walking rest in between. The beach is absolutely pancake flat, so it looks like I have 0 excuses. That felt so hard. I'm not really sure why, to be honest. I mean, it is really hot. My legs weren't feeling too bad. Cardiovascular wise, it felt really quite tough. I'm gonna check what it was like compared to last week, but it didn't seem as fast as last week, and it felt pretty hard. I looked down at my watch and I'm like 15 seconds per kilometer, kind of like off where I want to be, but it feels like I'm going fast and it feels really difficult. It got way choppier down the beach since literally however long it was ago, a couple of hours ago. It now seems to have turned windy. Two minds about that one. I did 1,000 meters, or just over 1,000 meters, just about 30 minutes, so quite a slow speed as well, but it was really choppy. On one hand, I'm glad I got it done, and it was good to get into the sea on my own and kind of do it when it was choppy, and there was a lot of jellyfish as well. On the other hand, it wasn't as far as I wanted it to be. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one. I need to do 4 times that when it comes to the actual Ironman. We're in, man, let's go. I've got 2 hours and 10 to do on Zwift today. So on the turbo trainer, the beauty of the turbo trainer is it's like a bit more time efficient. So I kind of had an option to go out for a ride outside, but one of the challenges I face is I never really know how long it's going to take me outside, because it's so variable in terms of the hills, how long they're going to take, the wind, what that's like, if you get a puncture, weather, traffic, all of those things really change how long it's going to take them. Because you're spinning all the time, there's no real let up, there's no downhills on the turbo trainer as such, and there's no stopping and there's no starting. You're just always spinning and you're always putting out effort. It's almost like worth a bit more as opposed to being on the road when you have to stop for traffic, or you're going down hills and you rest up a little bit. Workout today then, I'm just warming up at the minute. It's a 10-minute warm up, and then it's a long sets of sweet spot intervals. So it should be a hard workout, particularly for 2 hours and 10 minutes. A bit of a godsend today. There's like a bit of a breeze and it's a little bit cooler this morning, so that massively helps, I think, but I'm still heating up quite a bit. So same as last week really, we've got deadlifts, 4 sets of 5, we've got strict press, barbell bicep curls. Deadlifts still feeling heavy. They do feel like a little bit easier than they did last week, to be honest. I'm trying to nudge them up slightly, but I'm still nowhere near sort of like max strength at the minute. But it feels good to do them and still keep them within the program. I would put them in like, it's kind of like an upper body day, but I would put the deadlifts in with legs normally, but to do deadlifts and squats in the same session. Because I'm only doing strength training 3 times a week at the minute. To do them in the same one, it would just absolutely wipe me out. So I do them today, 4 sets of 5, nothing crazy, and then I should still be able to get out and do the run tomorrow. Feeling pretty good today. It's Thursday. I did the ride yesterday. Today was planned to be like my longish midweek run. Last week I did 15k, like fairly flat, quite good in terms of low heart rate. It was like close to zone 2 and fairly decent kind of mileage. Today I was going to do roughly the same distance but make it hilly and sort of go over the cliffs where I live on the coastal path. But I think I've decided instead of that, because it's pretty warm as well, it just seems to be super hot this week.
Instead of that, I'm going to make it harder this time round by just doing it as a brick session. So I'm going to do roughly 40 to 60 minutes outside on the bike. I need to make sure I go super easy for that. And then I'm going to try and do exactly the same distance again, 15k off of the bike straight after, turn it into a brick session and make it, same sort of speed, same sort of heart rate, hopefully. I might do an extra K, so I might do 16k if things are feeling good. Adding on the bike gives me some extra distance on the bike, extra practice in terms of it being a brick session. So being able to run straight after you've come off the bike is good to get used to that feeling and practice that. So that's a benefit. And then also then I can keep the mileage for the run, and it makes it slightly more difficult and a longer kind of cardiovascular effort. So I've opted for the tri-suit again, basically to make sure I get out on the run after this bike. And I've also set up my shoes next to the Mario Kart racing track. Got the shoes, some gels, and I've also got some shorts because I feel like an absolute idiot running around in just a full tri-suit when there's no event going on or anything. I've got a little bit of a decision to make as well. I want to take this camera with me, and I want to take my phone with me for music, and I don't have much space in this tri-suit to carry stuff down the back, and I don't have a saddle bag. So I have my tyre levers, a spare inner tube, and an Allen key. Also I want to take my phone, but I don't have space for it all. Turns out I couldn't even fit this camera with me in the back of these, let alone any spare inner tube or levers or anything. So I quickly run back, and I've got this little tap on it. Right, I've got a bit of an issue already. I'm having to hold the camera. I'm like 3 minutes in, but basically the bag is too flimsy for it to hold the camera in. It's just like flopping about and like falling out. So yeah, I might just be holding this camera for the next at least 60 minutes based on the route I've chosen and how this is going so far. But on the flip side, it's absolutely beautiful out here. There is many benefits to that. The bike ticked off. It was super nice. It was really chill. It felt like something I could kind of like do all day. It was just really nice out there. Weather was good. The route was super nice, and I just took it like very easy. One of the reasons why I enjoy cycling, you get to see like so much outside, which is cool. Like different than being in a car where you can take it in a little bit more, and you get to see a bit more than running. You can go like so much further in such a short amount of time, and the route that I did was nice, past like 2 beaches. Keeping the same clothes on, I feel like just saves washing, and I feel like I'm doing a lot of that at the minute. It almost looks like in the videos and the footage that I record, it almost looks like I'm wearing the same stuff all the time, but it's because I'm just putting that stuff straight in the wash, and then it's drying really quickly at the minute, and then I'm just putting that back on again. We are about, I think, just over 6k in of this 15k route or so. Just had a gel. It's really warm, but now I'm in this kind of like shaded bit, so hopefully that helps. But I need to get used to this heat because Ironman Italy, it's going to be warm, and it makes such a big difference. Jacks our heart rate up. I'm just sweating so much, and I can taste the salt. I can feel the salt on the skin. That's it, we did it. Did 16k in the end. Felt like a bit of a roller coaster. Some parts felt fine, felt quite easy, felt chilled,
And other times I was like, oh my God, this is dragging on. But it is a bit like that. I figured out the run is out and back route, and it's kind of like uphill on the way out and downhill on the way back. So that definitely has its advantages. One thing I thought about whilst I was running around was it's good to try the tri-suit, because you don't know how it's going to feel when you're running in it, and particularly for longer distances. Say you have I don't know, it's rubbing somewhere, you have an irritation somewhere, that's all well and good and you can cope with that for like a 5k or for 30 minutes or so. But if you're doing that for 2 hours plus and it's rubbing that entire time, then that's like a whole different ball game. So it's kind of good to try it for that reason. It felt super good. It feels really nice and compressive on the legs, both for cycling and running. It makes my legs feel strong in a weird way. Seems like the right amount of compression. The only snag that I had, and I just kind of noticed it the last couple of Ks, is under my arms, back of the arms, where my arms are swinging backwards and forwards, it's rubbing on my arm, under my armpit almost. And I only noticed it last couple of K. It's completely fine the entire way around, and it feels fine just walking around and wearing it. But I guess over time, if your arms coming backwards and forwards quite a lot and it's just passing some material, it was kind of rubbing and catching. So I think I've got red marks there. It feels a bit sore. So if I was to do another 25k or so, that would really start to get me. I feel ruined. Yesterday was basically a write-off. I did manage a 45-minute easy spin on the Concept 2. After that, longish sort of run on Thursday. But then for the rest of yesterday, spent about 5.5 hours in the car and then a couple hours in a sports hall. So now it's Saturday morning and I just feel a bit wrecked after that. I don't have much time. I thought I was going to have more time to do a long run today, but I don't. So I woke up a little bit later. I'm going to go and do 5k easy, and then it's either going to be a double run day, so I'll run later today again when we get back after another 5 hours in the car, or I'll jump on the turbo trainer and do a ride. So just come out of the hotel. I'm in Coventry. I've got no idea where I am or where I'm going, but I've used the Strava AI maps again, which seems to be pretty handy. So I've created a 5k loop. I just need to figure out which direction it starts in. Feels awful this morning, but I think getting this done, I feel so much better, so much looser before I then go sit in the sports hall and then jump back in the car. So I think this is super valuable, but it just feels really rough. I can feel my shins, heart rate seems to be higher than it should, just feel stiff everywhere. But we'll get it done and I'm sure I'll feel much better for it afterwards. Just in case you're wondering how the Strava maps worked, is you can select the length of distance that you want and you can search from your current location, and then it will give you a few suggested routes based on the length and your starting point, which is super cool. Then you kind of flick through those, pick one. This is basically giving me a 5k loop where it runs along a canal, which is quite cool. And then I just save that route and it automatically comes up on my Garmin. I can just select the route on the Garmin and then just follow it with the arrows, which is really quite good. Garmin Connect itself has its own way of doing that, but I found Strava to be much better. It used to be completely rubbish, to be honest, the route planning on Strava, but guess AI, it's actually really awesome. Just selects a route based off most popular ways that people run. Obviously it's got so much data on there now, Strava, it can just plot a fairly good route like this one. We're done. Just over 5k, about 5:20 pace, says it was. Did a little bit faster in a couple of sections just for time's sake. So back up the stairs now, get showered, get ready, about 15 minutes and then go watch some high level trampolining, which would be awesome. Give us some support. But yeah, I feel better for doing it. So it is Sunday, last day of training for this week. After driving yesterday, we got back super late, so I didn't do anything extra yesterday, just did the easy 5k. And my back is feeling really messed up from the drive yesterday. Just bombed it back straight through, no stops, just to get back a little bit earlier. But we'll see how we get on. I've got the mini man next to me with the yellow swim cap on as representing the yellow jersey. We got Tour de France on over there, and then we got Zwift here. So plan is to do the long ride today, and then maybe a run after, depending on how the back's feeling. I'm hopefully going to try and do like a total duration longer than last time. So last time I managed probably 4 hours and 10 minutes with bike and run. So plan is to try and just beat that today. So over 4 hours and 10 minutes. See how we get on. As long as I can keep going, we'll get it done. And then we'll see how long it takes us, see how long I've got left in total, or whether I just go straight out. Let's go. You winning? You are? Oh yeah? The back of the tour. Bit sneaky this. I was desperate for a wee, and on Zwift, it's new to me, but there's this new coffee stop function. So it basically gives you 3 minutes where you can pause it and it will stick you with the same group as you were. So that is pretty handy. So it meant that I could go to the toilet, but also get a couple bites of this banana, 60 seconds. Better get back on it. Hour and 44 in now. We've got 35.5k left. We're absolutely steaming around, which is good. I'm smashing through the gels at the minute, and I think that's massively helping. I think the ride that I did last week, I underfueled and I got to like 3 hours and basically just hit the wall and bonked. There's 100 riders in this group, which massively helps, and it's been super good fun. So 65k done, 35k to go. Probably smash another couple gels and then out onto the run. I am massively suffering. Oh my god. We've got 13.5k to go. My legs just feel dead. That was seriously hard. My legs are absolutely cooked. Don't know why, it just got harder and harder. 2 hours and 43 minutes basically. Alright, we made it out. So that's a win, because my legs feel absolutely cooked. It's kind of a quick turnaround, to be honest, because I got my shoes off, got the clothes on, walked into the house, and everyone's chilling out because it's Sunday afternoon, eating good food, making good food, and I just know that I had to get out there. I couldn't stay in there too long because I'll get drawn into that, and all my legs would just seize up. So got a couple gels with me, got the tunes on. It's a really nice running route. We'll just see how we get on. 10k would be really nice. Any more would be a bonus. Any less is fine. See how we do. I'm just running through the maths
In terms of trying to beat like last week's total volume and total time, I think this run needs to be an hour and 10 minutes, probably about 12-ish K. So I think I'm going to target that, aim for that, see how we get on. Running is a bit more impactful though than cycling, so if I skew it that way a bit more, whether I can recover as well as I did last week is another question. But equally, running is something I want to get better at massively, particularly because useful for other things like high rocks. And historically I've been stronger on the bike, although it doesn't feel like it at the minute. "41 minutes in, 7.7k done." It's crazy how perspective changes everything. Like, because I'd done the bike beforehand and that was like almost 3 hours, as soon as I'd done like 30 minutes of the run, it was like, wow, that's almost half of it done already. But if I come out on like an hour and 10 run just on its own, sometimes it's like, oh my god, that's a really long run. But because I've just done a really long or longer bike, kind of puts it into perspective a little bit. The other good thing about triathlon in general, I think, is because it's chunked up into 3 disciplines. Psychologically, that's already a bit of a game changer. You kind of get a bit of an endorphin rush, a bit of a buzz after you've ticked off each one. So coming off the bike, it was like, wow, okay, that's a big tick. Kind of gives me a bit of motivation, spurs me on a bit for the run, despite the legs feeling like jelly. That's it, that'll do. Hour and 5 minutes. I got some chafing towards the end, which was not feeling good. So, and 5 is solid. 12k, average pace was 5:25, I think. Felt like I could have gone faster at the end, which is really good. I'm gonna a little walk back now as well, and then I'm gonna meet the boy because he wants to have a little run around the village. So I'll add that in as well. And that's a good week of training. Vamos, vamos. Allez.